Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner. Today we are featuring another great crypto exchange that you can use with up to 100 times leverage for those who want to make even bigger gains. This is typically something that requires certain level of experience, and I will show you how it works too, so stay tuned. This is Margex Exchange. This is a Bitcoin-based derivatives trading platform that gives us the ability to trade with up to 100x leverage and provides access to global crypto markets. It prides itself with the friendliest user interface in the industry. This was nominated by finance magnates, and I can attest to that. It is simple to use for novice traders, but it's also advanced enough for professional traders. All deal indicators, trading fees, financing, profit and loss, etc. are on the screen, available in real time for any deal that you make. There's also simultaneous use of stop loss or take profit for each trade. There's no need to check what's happening every minute. It uses a unique MP shield. This is an artificial intelligence based system that protects users from price manipulation. It prevents from unfair liquidations as well. The asset's price on Margex never deviates from the top spot exchanges, which is very important, and it also has an adjustable isolated leverage up to 100x on all assets. It's got a very high liquidity, which is backed by 12 liquidity providers, and their fees are very competitive and reasonable. But what I really like the most here is there is no forced KYC, meaning that you are not obliged to undergo complex verification process and share your ID or other sensitive data. They also have an affiliate referral program with 40% commissions, flat rate, for everyone. This has become somewhat of an industry standard these days, a winning formula that saw Binance grow exponentially in its first year of launch and has been adopted by many exchanges since then. Now, let's shed some light on leverage trading. What is this? How it works? Well, leverage reflects the amount of personal funds that are required to open a position compared to the size of the position. When trading with leverage, you are actually able to make a trade for a much bigger size than your actual holdings. For example, if we want to open a trade with 10x leverage, then 1/10 of the personal funds will be required. In other words, you can have 0.10 BTC in your account, but actually place a trade for 1 Bitcoin. Or explained in fiat numbers, if we want to open a long trade on Bitcoin for $1,000, you only need $100 available balance. That will be enough to cover the margin requirements for this deal. This allows traders to increase their exposure in the market, thus maximizing profit potential. In fact, leverage trading has become a very attractive method for experienced traders to make a killing these days, and as it becomes more and more widely adopted, I feel obliged to give you a quick run through the basics, so this will be the tutorial part of this video. So let's take a look how this works. Alright, so let's start from the beginning. This is the homepage and I'm already logged in my account, so I'm going to go to continue trading. This is the interface. Now, first things first, here we have a few different options. There is the trade, then there is a wallet. So if you click here, you will go into your wallet, and what you will notice is that it's a Bitcoin wallet. If you're depositing or withdrawing from here, it is in fact a Bitcoin wallet. So the base currency is BTC. You will be working with this base currency. Nevertheless, what trading pairs you're going to work with when you're trading, when you're depositing or withdrawing your money, it's going to be in Bitcoin, not in fiat. Now, if you don't have Bitcoin, you can actually purchase it straight away here. As you're depositing, you can buy it with your card. But when you're withdrawing, it will be a Bitcoin withdrawal. So you still have to have a different wallet. And I've already deposited some Bitcoin from my wallet, and this is how I'm operating here. If you go to settings, there are a few things here. The first thing is that you can actually change your language. If English is not your native language and it's one of these, we have here Spanish, German, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Turkish. If any of this is your native language and you're more comfortable with, then this is the first thing that you can do. And from here, the whole website will be in that respective language. Also, we have the referral, and as you know, they are paying 40% commission fees from your referrals, meaning that if you have followers or friends that want to use this website and you refer them to this, you will be getting 40% commission from the fees that they pay. This is not going to be from the amounts that they deposit or that they trade with, but the fees that they're going to be paying. Also, if you have any questions at any point, you go to the live chat and you can speak to someone, or if you go through the help center, you will see a lot of topics already covered, and they even have video tutorials. They have quite a few videos on their YouTube channel, and also they have explained all of the different things that you might have questions about on their blog as well. All right, now on this referral page, by the way, this is your referral link. So if you want to be sharing this with people, this is what you need to copy here. Right, let's go to trade now and take a look at how do we place a trade. What do we need to do? First of all, we have different trading pairs. Bitcoin USD is by default the first one. Then there is Ethereum USD, XRP USD, Litecoin, LTC, and EOS USD. Actually, there's one more, which is Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi was quite a big hit last year when it launched. It's still a very strong currency. It is on par with Bitcoin's price. It's usually just under a Bitcoin, so you can see it's actually $34,000, and this is a currency that only launched a year ago, so it did miracles in a very short space of time because of very low total hard cap. All right, now I'm going to stick to the example here with Bitcoin USD, and I'm going to give you the same example with $1,000. $1,000, this is, I'm entering it here, but if I choose to just work with amounts directly from my portfolio, I can go here, and depending on the leverage that I have, it will actually change. The minimum leverage is 5%, the maximum is 100%. So the lower the leverage, the higher the amount that will be taken from my wallet. The higher the leverage that I'm using, the lower the amount that I will be using directly from my wallet. This makes a big difference, and typically what you need to know is that with 100x leverage, yes, you will be using a smaller portion from your accounts in order to cover this trade, but it's also a higher risk. So for $1,000 trade, I'm only going to spend $10 from my portfolio if I work on 100x, and I can see that if I go here and I hover around this question mark, it's actually showing me the message here that the total size of my order with the leverage applied in USD value is what I have typed here, which is 1,000. Okay, based on the leverage that I've selected, which in my case is 100x, the actual impact on your wallet, it says here, will be $10. Or in Bitcoin value, it will be 0.025126. All right, so this is how I'm going to place a trade for $10 from my wallet, but it will be the size of $1,000. So I can reduce my leverage. I can go to 40x, I can go to 20x, or even 5x, which is the smallest. All right, so this is important. This is a big difference. Also, I said from here, I'm using now 1% of my total amount, less than even 1%. I can go and use perhaps 10% from my total amount, which is not going to be 28,000. This is with the leverage, right? So here I will be spending $287 from my wallet in order to cover this trade. But if I lose, depending on, how much I lose, what percentage, if I'm minus, 50%, then I will be covering that excess from my wallet as well. So that means I still need to have a much higher balance here in my wallet than what I'm actually going to be working for this trade, because I will need, if I have losses, I'll need to be able to cover this, not only the base. The base right now is going to be $287. Anyway, I'm going to stick to the $1,000, which is a very small trade. I must admit it. It looks like a big deal, but it's $10 from my portfolio. And if I win, my win is probably going to be small. I'm going to work here on the 1 minute, very short time frames, because I want to show you things in real time rather than place on. Typically, I don't trade 1 minute. I trade longer term, and I don't really bother with these really short term swings. But right now I'm going to be using the 1 minute because I want these orders to be completed quickly. Right, the 1 minute chart that I'm looking at here, actually I can change that. I can go on 5 minutes, 15 minutes, I can go on 1 hour, which I actually much prefer, or even on the daily. And then I'm going to be looking at the higher time frames, meaning that if I place a trade and I'm looking at the hourly or the daily, then it's not going to be a trade for the next 5 minutes or for the next 10 minutes. It will be a trade that I will most likely have to leave for a few hours or maybe even more. So for that reason, I'm going to go to the 1 minute, and we will be working with very short-term trades here, just so that I can show you, how things are. Also, what I can do here, because you can see this chart is really small, and I'm getting here the buy and sell orders. This is the order book, or I can see what are the last trades. So right now I'm getting a good idea of what are the last trades. I see that we actually have quite a lot of buys, more buys than sales, meaning the bulls are still controlling this market and everything. So I'm getting that kind of a rough idea of what's happening with the market with this. But I'm going to close this because this panel I don't really need. I want to see my chart bigger and better and to have more clarity. And also I can make this chart larger from here. So if I'm going to be doing some technical analysis before I start trading, I would look at this in full screen, and then I'll be using my tools in order to do my charting, to establish where my resistance levels and where my support levels, and what I can expect over the next few minutes or hours, depending on the time frame that I'm working with. Also, I have opened some indicators, and I have the RSI, which I'm usually following quite closely. I also have the MACDs. If I want to add any more indicators, I can go here to indicators and I can select which ones I want to add. Maybe I want to add some moving averages, the exponential moving average. By default, as I add it will be the 9 EMA. So this is by default, it's going on 9. And if I'm on the 1 minute, that means 9 minutes is going to be estimating. But I found that for crypto, the 8 EMA is actually kind of more precise, at least for me. So I can change it, and also I'm going to change the color of it so I can see it easier, because right now I don't really see it. Currently we can see that it's sitting here, so it is below our current price. So I'm expecting, as you can see, actually as we go up and down, a lot of the times we go and we touch this level, this 8 EMA, and then we bounce up from there. And I like the 8 EMA because it actually works on most of the different time frames. Now we are above it. Very soon we're going to drop to that, we're going to retest it. Either we're going to bounce up from here or down, but this is not about technical analysis, so I'm digressing. Right now, making this smaller and seeing the rest of the screen. Now, as I'm placing orders, they will be here in this field. So I'll be seeing my open positions. If I open a position, it will come here. If I place an order, for instance, like a limit order, where I'm setting the price that I want to buy at, and it's not a price that we are currently at, then that order will be sitting and waiting. It will just stay as an active order. It's not going to be an active position. And then this is my position history. So here I can actually see what are my previous trades. You can see I have green and red ones. This is the longs and the shorts. So buys and sells. As it is here, the buy is green, the sell is red. And then I have details about them that I'm going to go through. I'm going to explain what all of these mean. And then in my orders history, I can also see my orders, all of these cancelled, because if I didn't cancel them, they were going to be either active orders or they were going to be positions. And then if they close, they will go in position history, not in my order history. So these are just orders that I cancelled. All right, so let's see what do we have on the left. And first we actually see the balance, my available balance and my total balance. Right now this is the same figure, but as I start placing orders, they will change. My available balance will be less because the amounts that I'm going to use for these orders, they're going to be taken from my balance and they're not going to be available to me until the orders get complete, executed, and I close them. And they will close once they get executed, or they can be liquidated if the market drops drops to a certain price or goes up to a certain price, at which point my order can get liquidated. Right, so then the second thing we see are three types of orders: limit order, market order, stop market. I'm going to explain what these mean as well. For this first example, I'm going to work with the market order. I think by default you're being sent here on this page with the market order already selected. It is the most commonly used one. It's the easiest and the quickest one that you can do when you're placing an order. Here I selected 1000. This is going to be the size of this order, and it's actually showing me what is this in Bitcoin value. And my leverage for this example, I'm going to start with leverage of 100x, and then I'm going to give you an example with a smaller leverage. So do I buy or do I sell? This is actually what is different here from typical spot trading that you might be familiar with. In spot trading, that is when you're actually buying and selling a coin, a token, an asset. And you have to have the capital in your balance in order to cover for this buy, because you're actually going to buy this asset. As you see, I have my balance is in Bitcoin, yet I'm still able to place a buy order for Bitcoin. Even though I already have everything in Bitcoin, I don't have any US dollar. This trading pair is Bitcoin versus US dollar. So in a spot trading account, you will have to have the dollars available in order to execute a buy order. Here, because we're working with margins and this is derivatives, it's more of a speculation. It's not really buying the asset. So this is a big difference. Okay, so that's about it. Now let's go ahead and place this order. I'm going to click buy market. And because it's a market order, that's why. And I'm not actually buying the whole market. And this is my quick summary of my order. My leverage is 100x. This is my order size. I need to make sure that in my balance I have enough to actually cover this whole size of the order, because if it goes wrong and I'm losing and that order gets liquidated, then I'll have to cover this. So I need to make sure that in my available balance I have enough to cover the whole of this amount. Now let's click buy. And this is my confirmation that I placed this order. It is here in my open positions. As you can see, it's not active orders, it's an open position. And also a lot of the times you might actually be seeing this displayed like this in a straight line. This is depending on your layout and everything. If you zoom in a little bit with Control Plus, I'm zooming in, then actually my layout is slightly larger and this is becoming a box, which for me is actually easier. I can trace, it kind of makes it easier for me to read all of these details. So what do we have here? This is the deal ID. So if there's anything wrong with this deal, this trading order, and I need to discuss it with the help desk and the customer service, then I'll have to quote this deal ID. Then I have the opening date and what is my current pair that I'm trading, Bitcoin USD. Also here it shows me that this is a buy order. It's a long, it's not a short. And this is my quantity, meaning the total volume of my order, $1,000. This is showing me what is my margin. It is 100x or 0.0002526 Bitcoin, approximately 0.0003 BTC. This is the quick start. And then I have my open price is this one. This is the price that I placed the order at. This is the current price. Because I am trading long, I need this now to go up. I need the market to actually go higher so that I can make a profit, and then I will close this order. I can close it manually, or I can set a limit. I can set what price I want for it to close at. But currently I'm actually at a minor loss. Why? Even though we are high here, we are higher than what we were when I opened this order. It is a very small difference and I'm paying fees. So after I paid the fee, I'm actually slightly down. In order to get in profit, I actually need now the market to go to 44,960 or something like that. This is when I'm going to have to see a decent profit, and then I can close the order. Now, if we start going down though, I can get liquidated. That order can get liquidated, meaning that it will be closed forcefully at a loss. And this is the liquidation price. So we should not go anywhere close to 44,493. If we start falling to 44,500, which will be getting closer to this, I will get worried. And then if I'm too worried, I can actually close this manually and take a loss But for the moment, I'm waiting. I'm hoping that we're going to go up. I didn't actually look at the market very much. I didn't do much of a technical analysis to find out whether in the next few minutes we are going to be going low or high. But it is a small order, so even if we drop and I take a loss, it's going to be a small loss. So I'm not too bothered about this. As you can see right now, we are at, I'm already in profit, 2%. It's a very small profit, but a profit nevertheless. Now, before I go and close it, let me continue here. What else do we see? So TP and SL. TP is take profit, SL is stop loss. So now that I haven't set these parameters at all, I can go and do that. I can decide to go and take profit, meaning that this order will be closed at a certain price, and that price needs to be higher so that I can make a profit. So if we say that I want to close this at this price, 44,989, I will make 10% profit. Or if I hope that we're going to go to 45,000, maybe 112, I'll be making 38% profit. So I can set this here, and now I don't have to watch the market and wait for this to close. It's going to automatically close at a profit for me when the market reaches this price. Also, for the stop loss, I want to set up a stop loss so that I don't have to babysit this order and sit here and wait and watch the market as it goes up or down. So I need to set a lower price than the price that I opened this order for. Okay, so if I place this now at 44,811, I'll be taking 30% loss. Well, 30% is actually quite a lot, so let's make it 855, at which point it's going to be only 19% loss. I'm fine with this. So I'm protecting myself that should we go down, but I have a feeling that we've already dropped. We haven't, but we are very close. Look at here. The market currently is 44,867 and 65 even. So if I don't want to close this at a loss, I will set up a lower limit, like 755, let's say, at which point I'm going to be closing it at 42% loss. But I don't expect that the market will be dropping that low, and this is why I'm going to set it like that. So now what I've done is I've set my take profit price. So this is my ideal sell price, and this is my stop loss price. So this is in the case of a market crash, I'm going to be stopped here. I'm going to sell at this kind of a loss, which is going to be around 40% or something, but at least I'm going to avoid getting liquidated at a higher loss than this one. And we are currently at minus 27%. I should have actually closed this order a couple of minutes ago before I explain everything, but nevertheless, it is a very small order. Even if I take a loss right now, my loss will be $1.60, $1.70, right? So not a huge loss. So let's just finish this. Commission is basically what I'm paying for this order. Realized P&L. P&L stands for profit and loss. Realized stands for what's already happened, what I've already incurred, and I've incurred a loss. This is why here my balance is on minus. It says minus 0.6 cents. Well, this is the commission that I paid for this trade order, and this is why it's been taken at the moment I placed it. So regardless of where we go with this, whether we go up or down, and we're going down actually, but regardless of this, I'm paying this commission. And this is why it's a realized P&L. I've already covered this loss in this case. Unrealized P&L is what is going to happen if I close this order. It's not yet happened. So if I close this order right now, I will be losing. It's a minus. It's a negative balance. So that's why it's a profit and loss. It could be one of the two. In this case, it's a loss of $2 if I close this right now. If I don't close it, I can wait and perhaps turn this into profit. And this is why it's unrealized. Until I close this order, this is going to stay unrealized. Once I close it, it will be realized. Let's go into position history, and then we can see here, this is my last order. this here says realized P&L only, right? I don't have unrealized P&L because I've already closed it. And on this order, I realized only, or I took only 24 cents as a profit because I was actually covering fees. My commission was $1.2. This is important. You can see these details in the open position. You can see what is your realized P&L, so currently what you've paid, and what is your unrealized P&L. And also, once this is closed, if I'm at profit, I'll be paying a higher commission, so my realized P&L will be slightly less than what I'm seeing here. Right, so I've set my limits for my ideal sell price, which is my TP. This is take profit. Or for my emergency sell price, that's what I call it. The stop loss is basically my emergency sell price. If we drop below this price, I'm going to close this order at a loss. So this is how it works. I'm going to leave it here open because while I'm explaining other things, hopefully it will get executed so that we can see how these things are being executed on automation. Now, if you want to actually do it manually, let's open a different order right now. This time I'm going to open a sell order, and I'm doing it at the market value, right? At the current market rate, I keep the same parameters. $1,000 is going to be at 100x leverage, everything. Let's do a sell right now so that we can see the differences. Well, the first difference is that now we have here an indication that this is actually a sell order. I'm going short. That's why I'm seeing this red arrow going down. Also, in quantity, here, quantity is in green because it's a buy order. Here, my quantity is red because it is a sell order. So this is at first glance how I can quickly see that this is a long and this is a short. The same parameters we have here, the ID of the deal, the date, the asset, the quantity. My margin is the same, 100. My open price was 44,836. The current price is lower, 44,829. However, I still needed to go much lower in order to make a profit because I paid a fee. I actually have realized a loss rather than a profit. So I need to go here in a profit. We need to drop even lower for me to go into a profit, and then we will be seeing my unrealized P&L is not going to be 23 or 56 cents, but it's going to be higher. Oh, I forgot to mention, ROE is return on equity, meaning you're not making an investment, you're making a trade. This is why it cannot be a return on investment, but this is your return. And by the way, I just closed. Did you see how it disappeared? I just closed this order. So we dropped, and I actually realized a loss. And it is a loss of $4 I realized on this order because the market went down and it actually hit my stop loss. So this was my stop loss. We went that low, and at that point I actually exited this trade at a loss. Now let's go back to my open positions. We are currently on this position. We are almost approaching a profit. So we're going to see how it's going to play out. I have not set up a target price, a take profit price, and I haven't placed a stop loss price on this. I'm going to close this manually because in the previous one I showed you how to automate this, but let's just watch it and do it manually. Also, another thing that I'm going to do here is just make this a bit larger so that I can see it and I can monitor it better. Let's make this even larger. I want to see, this is on the 1 minute, so I want to actually see exactly where we're going right now, whether we're going down or we're going up. Also, typically I will be using these indicators and everything in order to give me an idea where we're going. I'm not doing this right now because I'm more focused on explaining this rather than on making a successful trade. I will be trading later. Right, so this is staying here as an open position. Let's see what are the other types of orders that we have, because for the moment I've been showing you market orders, but we also have a limit order. What is that? You're probably familiar with the limit order because with spot exchanges, this is usually what you are placing. You're placing an order that is not necessarily at the current market rate. You're going here and you're setting up the price that you want this order to be executed at. So Currently the market is at 44,871. I don't like this price, right? I want it cheaper. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to set up 44,821. So I want to buy it at this rate. I don't want to buy it at the current market rate. I'm going to buy it at, let's change the leverage as well, so it's not always the same thing. This time I'm going to go at 40x leverage. I'm going to work with 1,000 total for the total of this, but I will have to spend $24.99 or $25 from my account rather than $10 because I'm now at a lower leverage, right? Okay, so let's go and place this. I'm going to place a long order. And we are actually approaching, so let me place it quickly so that it can stay. No, I wasn't quick enough because I didn't realize that we were already dropping to my price. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to place it again. In the meantime, I'm going to close this order here at 11% profit because I do like this profit. Now here in my position history, I'm going to see this. I closed this at a $1.03 profit, right? So this is my realized P&L from this order. Okay, now so my open position currently is already on minus 11%, but I did open it at quite a low price. In fact, I opened it at 44,808. You see, and this is because the market was crashing quite fast when it went down there. And when my order became activated, we were already lower than my price. So I actually bought at a lower price than I set it up. I set it up at 820 or something, but we were even below. So I ended up buying it much lower. So this was a long order, buy order. We can see it's green, meaning that the market needs to go higher for me to make a profit. Well, currently we're actually lower, so I'm making a loss. But I'm going to wait, of course, and I'm going to, again, this time I'm going to set up my take profit and my stop loss. My stop loss is actually at 43,742. At this point, I can get liquidated and this order will be sold, forcefully will be closed at a loss for me. It is quite a big loss though, because it's $1,000 down from where we are currently. So if I don't really want to take such a big loss, let's go and set up. First, I'm going to set up my stop loss and I will set it up at 44,522, which will be another 30% loss for me. But it is better than setting it up at 43,700 and whatever it was, because then I will be making 100% loss. This is when I'm actually going to get liquidated. So I'll be doing 44,522. That will give me a 30% loss. This way, I'm actually protecting myself from making a bigger loss. Now let's go and set up my take profit ideal price. My take profit will be at 44,966. At which point it's only 9% profit. So no, let's make it 11% profit. All right, so let's do that. Clearly, we are right now quite below this price and we keep dropping. So it's not very likely that we will be going that high anytime soon, but we'll see. Maybe in the next few minutes, we'll jump up and I'll be able to close this at a profit rather than a loss. In the meantime, I'm going to show you here the third type of order, and this is the stop market. Again, same parameters, same everything. So here I'm going to just decide what is going to be the stop price, and I'm going to select it to be 44,633. So at this point I want to buy, which means that now this order is going to stay hidden until I actually the price actually goes down to my desired price level. And I can see it in my active order. It is not been placed yet. It's not an open position. It's just an order and it's sitting in and waiting. So I need the market to actually drop to this 44,633 in order for me to open this position and have it move from active orders into open positions. So perhaps I'm going to wait a little bit, but this is pretty much how it goes. And now I can also go here and I can set up my take profit and stop losses parameters. But I can do that now, or I can do it later when it becomes an open position. I have the freedom to change these things. So in the meantime, I'm going to show you, if I place here an order, this time I'm going to place $2,000 order, and I'm going to make it at 40x rather than 100x leverage. Also here I need to make sure that I'm placing a market order, not a stop market or a limit, because right now I want to make it an open position, not just an order, right? So let's say that I go, shall I go long? I will go long at this point because we are dropping. So I'm going long, and this is now in my open positions. Okay, so if I choose at some point that I've actually put too much money into this position and I want some of this back because I want to use it for a different trade with a different pair, or even this same pair I want to open a new position or something like that, I can actually go here, and I'm not gonna close it, of course, because I don't really want to take this loss right now, but I can change my margin. And by changing basically the leverage, I can actually free some money. And let's see how is this going to work out. So right now my leverage is 40, right? And based on this, my liquidation price is 43,500, and my margin is this much in Bitcoin value. All right. So this is what I'm going to need in case this order goes wrong and I take a loss. If this order gets liquidated, this is how much I'm going to lose from my total balance. If I don't really want to lose that much, I can actually slide this and go at a higher leverage. So I can change my leverage to 70 or even 100%. And at 100% now, this figure is half of the figure that it was, right? But also at the same time, my estimated liquidation price is changing also. So it's becoming more riskier for me. So from here, which was 43,500, it went up to 44,185. So now I have to worry. If we start approaching 44,200, I will be really afraid that I'm going to get this order liquidated and I will be losing. But at the same time, I'm actually losing a smaller amount. And right now, with the current market rate and everything, I feel that I'm safe to do that. So after you take into consideration all of these factors, you can choose to actually change this order. And now I'm going to be working at 100x leverage for this and no longer at 40x leverage, meaning that a smaller amount from my balance will be needed in order to cover losses for this order in case it gets liquidated. It also means that it's going to get liquidated at a higher market price rather than what used to be before that. And also I can go again here because this position is still active. It's not been completed. It's not been shut. So I can go now and still make other changes. Maybe I want to decrease my leverage. And if I decrease my leverage, then I will be using a higher amount from my wallet. But I'm really lowering down my threshold. So this order is not going to get liquidated at 41,000 or 42,000. Now it's going to stay active and in play all the way down until 39,000. So if I have enough money in my account, in my wallet, then I can do that. And this way I can avoid getting an order liquidated after I've already set the parameters for it. And this is actually helping me not to get an order liquidated by force. Now, it's quite a big difference between the current market price and my liquidation price. So I'm no longer at such a big threat of getting this liquidated. But also I need to be quite confident that the market is not going to go that low, because now that I'm working with a smaller leverage, a bigger amount of my money is going to go to cover this order, right? Okay. So I'm going to close this at market value because it's actually at 0, so I'm not really making a loss. And I only did that to show you how it works, not necessarily to place a decent trade. But nevertheless, I did take a small profit, so at least I'm not at a loss here. So this is how things work. I think I covered everything here. From these buttons, you can actually change your interface to be light or dark. Now we're going to go into the light interface. For many people, this is actually easier, and typically it kind of makes things a little bit more clear and visible, but at the same time it puts a little bit more strain on your eyes. So if you're going to be spending a long time in front of the screen, it would make sense to actually work with the dark interface, and this is what I'm using most of the time. So it's time for me to log out. Alright, so this was my quick guide to using leverage trading with Margex. I hope this brought value to you guys, and if it did, please show your support by leaving a like and a comment below. Make sure that you subscribe for more great crypto content I post every day to keep you up to date with the latest news, reviews, market analysis and tutorials like this one that help you master the cryptocurrencies market. So hit the notification bell, the subscribe button, and do not miss a beat. Also make sure that you check out the links in the description below, where you will find my top crypto services and of course the link to register for Margex. Some of these are referral links, so use these to show your appreciation and your support for the content that I produce. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.